That's a good area. I thought that was more towards like Miami area.
Yes, it's like 20 minutes away from Miami.
Okay, that's good. Awesome, bro. Well, glad to have you on the call today. Definitely want to go ahead and kind of like see your experience as far as the 100K challenge that you went ahead and passed. Congratulations on that. That's something big achievement because I know that a lot of people could use those funds to do a lot of great things. Now, as far as everything, what were some of the things that trials and tribulations that you had, or how long did it take you to pass the challenge, the first challenge?
I mean, it was actually my fourth time, right? My fourth time doing it. I did it 3 times before, but before that, I mean, yeah. I mean, I have like a couple years experience trading. I feel like I have a good understanding, but it was just, my biggest challenge I would say was just risk management and being impatient. Definitely. So I'm trying to adapt your style of trading. And especially with the sniper entries, because my main strategy was just supply and demand, right? But off the daily zones, the 4-hour zones, but those zones just make me risk the risk to reward is not as good as your risk to reward, and then I become impatient.
Yep, I see. It's crazy because when like there's always one next level to where is that you're at. Like you can always improve. It's crazy because 2 years ago, like a 3-to-1, a 5-to-1, a 5-to-1 risk reward for me, it was crazy. That was like 2 years ago. Right? And then last year, 2008, 2019, I had the biggest risk reward that I've had in that day, right? In that year, which was a 51-to-1 risk reward on USD CAD. And it was a good trade. It was a 51-to-1 risk reward. And like I said, like there's always levels to this. Like you can always continue on improving. This year so far.
When I actually saw you did that, like that shit expanded my mind. That shit it just blew things up. Seeing that you were catching those phenomenal risk rewards, I'm like, nah, ain't no other trader doing it like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. This year, so far, I beaten my record from last year. This year is a 231-to-1 risk reward. Again, with CAD, it was a great trade. But as far as those scenarios, like things like being able to identify when the market's trying to transition everything. One thing I did notice a while back was, a lot of people are good at scalping, but sometimes they have difficulties on maintaining the trade. And that's exactly why I've been able to perfect my strategy, because I was able to see things that, I was good at and things I had to perfect. So I was good at scalping. I was good at getting in and getting out, getting in and getting out. And my most extent was a little bit not as good as nowadays, where I had to go ahead and improve that and start kind of seeing the H1 daily perspective, so I can see like bigger risk reward. And that's what led us to those big risk rewards. You said it was 4 times that you've done the challenge. The 4th one was the one that you passed, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, on that fourth challenge, how many days did it take you for the first part, which is the challenge?
The first, it was one day.
1 day?
Yeah, it was 1 day.
How much did you risk on that one?
That one, let me actually have a look at it, right? Let me have a look at it.
Okay.
I can share my screen.
Yeah, you can share.
If you want to see.
Let me go ahead and allow you to share. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and share your screen.
All right, screen.
And how long have you been trading for?
I mean, I've been on this journey since like 4 years. I've been on this journey about 4 years now.
Awesome.
All right, so I think this was a verification. Right, this was a verification, right?
Correct.
And it was just these gold trades, and then these trades here.
So gold and indices, I see.
Yeah, these had good risk to reward. These was like 1 to 7. It was just like a nice it was a nice drop on, like sorry, it was this drop right here. This drop right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I basically took it because this zone right here.
Yep.
And I took the sell up right up here, and it was just like enough to give me a good risk to reward to pass the verification.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal trade. Do you tend to stick to those pairs on like gold and indices, or are there other pairs that you usually trade?
Well, I'm trying to stick to 5 pairs, right? Because I feel like I have a relationship with NAS, right? I feel like I have a relationship with NAS, so I mainly trade NAS and trade US30. But just like the same style you do,
Yep.
I try to do the same thing, but during like 9:30, between 9:30 and 12:30.
Yep.
And then I just try to trade gold and then just USD CAD, Aussie USD, GBP, JPY. I think it's just like 5 or 6 pairs.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because the ones that I typically tend to trade are USD pairs, right? The day today, it's funny because I actually did a session. It was on Sunday. It was yesterday. I did a session Dave yesterday, and I was talking about this move when it comes to market coming back up to this area. I spoke about the market taking out these areas right here and coming into this zone where you can see clearly the market came into that zone and then just tanked. There could be one more retracement further up into these areas over here again before it starts tanking a lot more. But I do see some really, really good potential of USD CAD tanking all the way down over here before it starts exploding. USD CAD, hopefully, NFP is that catalyst news that helps us push the market up. But there could be some manipulation. It could help the market push down because I do want it to come down over here first, at least the 1.33400 level before it actually starts going down. But before I get any like technical on other things I'm doing, I kind of want to ask you real quick as far as like what were some of the trials and tribulations that you went through? You spoke to me about you've done it 4 times. The 4 times that you did it, was it all for the 100K account, or did you do like some for the
it was all for the it was all for the 100K accounts.
Wow.
Mainly the main trial and tribulation is just the main thing I would say is starting small and growing it gradually. You always wanna risk like to me becoming into the first mindset was okay, I'm gonna risk $1,000.
Yep.
For this trade setup. I'm gonna risk $1,000 a day because your daily max is 5,000. So then you could risk 5,000 a day. So you go ahead and you risk for almost 3,000 because the risk is gonna reset the next day around 8 o'clock. So mainly it's just impatience, poor risk management. And in addition to that, there was actually a time I ran out of time on one of the trades, right? Because I got the account all the way down to 1,500, and then I got the account all the way right back up just in time to pass the challenge. And then when I looked, they said I went over the max daily loss by like a few dollars. So I had to do it all over again.
It's
and
funny.
then the first, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny because I actually had a close friend that was doing great, he was doing good at everything, and he to his eyes he passed the challenge, and he didn't notice about the 5 day, the 5% in a day that it counts your equity. It's not your balance; it's your equity that counts. So if he went down like drawdown all the way down to that 5%. It counted, and he didn't see that. He just thought, was probably doing something else when it came all the way down there. And then by the time that hit take profit and pass the challenge, he goes to the back off and he's like, "Oh, what happened?" And I had to explain the fact that it counts your drawdown. It counts as part of the thing that's going on top. It's not what's in your balance, it's the equity that's actually playing in the market. And that was something that I myself went through because I had to do it 2 times, right? The first time was because I failed because of that drawdown. I didn't know that was like the drawdown. I was like, okay, as long as you go ahead and you don't close under the 5%, it should be good. So I let some of that drawdown hit all the way to 6%, and it came back up, and I passed the challenge to my eyes, and I was like, okay, what happened here? And I noticed that it was that scenario. So I see that there's a lot of people going through that scenario, and hopefully, people don't continue going through that because they didn't see the certain areas. Because I know a lot of people, the first trial they have failed due to that. I did it myself, and after that, I was lucky to go ahead and do 3 more, and then get all those passes and just continue on doing the same thing over and over.
I guess the drawdown might have just been like a little spike that you didn't see when you weren't looking.
Yep.
Because you didn't calculate exactly how much you're risking actively,
Yep.
And it just happened.
And the thing about that is because this was what happened. So for example, there's a certain period of time that the day separates. So let's say this day over here, I lost 3,000, and my account over here is on drawdown. But I didn't know when the next day would shift. So that way, it restarts the next day. Every 24 hours, it restarts. So I didn't know when this happened, when the restarted period was. So therefore, what happened is the fact that in this area, I went, probably down like 2,800 around there. And that was only drawdown, expecting that this was not in this day, thinking I was on this day. So that's the scenario that happened. And I see that happen to a lot of people. And that's why we say, like, Asia session is the time that it has a break, right? From Asia sessions when it breaks. So if you don't want to go to that drawdown, just wait till after Asia session, trade London or the next day in New York, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of people go through. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to go ahead and pass the challenge. What are some of your plans when it comes to your first withdrawal? What are some things that you plan on doing? Do you plan on continuing on doing the other FTMOs? Do you plan on doing like those two, combining them? What are some of your plans?
I mean, that first withdrawal is definitely going to be a game changer for me, because with all the years I've been trading, right, and there was never a moment where I actually held $10,000 in my name, right? So I know that a lot could change with that first withdrawal, and what I intend to do is, as soon as I get my first withdrawal, I'll do 2 more challenges so that I could get the 300K, and basically put myself in a position to get better, and also help more people, and just like a better living situation where I could actually have like an office where I could sit down and trade continuously,
That's
basically
great.
make plans.
That's awesome. It's let me go ahead and kind of put the numbers in so that we I'm gonna try to give you like a little game plan so that we can kind of see how to work. So you can see how the numbers work out. So far right now, we all know that it's a cost of, it costs you $610 to get the FTMO started, right? So on your case, you said you had to do it 4 times. What's 4 times is a total of 2,440. So that's how much you've invested so far, right? So from 600 to 2,440. Now that you have passed the FTMO, now you have the opportunity to trade an account that's giving you, $100,000. And out of those $100,000, we gotta understand that, on your first withdrawal, the cool thing about this is that you're gonna get your $600 back. So they're going to go ahead and refund you your $600, $610. It's funny because on my end, they gave me a little bit more than $610. They gave me like $628. I don't know why, but it was weird. I didn't even want to ask. I was like, that's free money. I'm gonna leave it like that. But when it comes to that scenario, you're gonna be getting your $610 back. You said that you're gonna be reinvesting. Now let's say you did the 10%, right? So out of the 10%, as always, FTMO is going to keep his 30%. You're going to keep your 70%. But 70% on that area would be 7,000, pretty much 7,000. Okay. And you said you're planning on investing, part of those profits. So and if you want to do the challenge 2 more times, which is going to be for those 2 other accounts, you're going to be putting in 1,220. That's how much you're going to be putting in. So pretty much, let's go ahead and subtract 7,000 minus 1,220 minus initial investment, how much it is that you put in, which was 2,440. The first month, you're coming out at a profit of 3,340. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's a profit 3,340 is because, the other money or the other resting amount paid you back from the money that you put in to start, the FTMOs that you try to pass. And on top of that, you're paying your reinvestment. Now, the cool thing about this is, let's say you continue on doing 10%, 10%, 10%, right? I always tell everybody, look at things from a quarter perspective, because if you look at things from a quarter perspective, pretty much FTMO, it gives you about 3 months. It gives you about 3 months to go ahead and finish the whole thing. Okay, so 3 months, quarter perspective, you're gonna go ahead and kind of be looking at the third month, you're gonna make about $7,000, right? 10%, and then once you get the other accounts, do you plan on doing them both at the same time, or are you plan on doing one and then the other?
I think I'm gonna do one at a time.
One at a time. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So you do one at a time. Let's say the following month you do another $7,000, which is profit, and on top of that you pass your challenge, right? So you're only making profit from this one. The following month you do again another $7,000, and then you pass the verification. After that, then you do your first withdrawal again from that other account. So now you're making on a third month, you're pretty much making $14,000 if you are to do another 10%. And this is when things start adding up, because now from this, you can go ahead and ask FTMO to go ahead and combine your accounts, and it's going to be a lot easier. You don't have to be one and the other one, because trust me, it gets annoying when you're on one phone and then you're over here and then you're back and forth. So yeah, bro, I'm glad you were able to pass the FTMO. It's a great feeling knowing people that are actually taking the opportunity, because like I wish I had this when I started. It was like 3 or 4 years. How long ago did you notice about FTMO? How long ago did you
probably like 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. And as soon as you saw this, I'm pretty sure you like pretty much just jumped on it.
Yeah, like my mind was blown. Honestly, my mind was blown. I think I saw you posted, and I saw Raw GTR posted, Lambo Raw posted.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, what is this shit? I zoom in on it, I do my investigation, and then I saw like other people posting. Whenever they post their accounts, I see the IMAX on it, and I'm like, this person trading FTMO,
Yeah.
But it's definitely a game changer. Like it motivates. I would say it should motivate anybody learning this skill, because they have like a real chance making it if you actually learn the skill.
What would you recommend for like other people that are looking to the FTMO, are kind of still thinking about it, or like what would you recommend people, like new people that don't know anything about FTMO?
I mean, one thing I would recommend is, yes, for them to do the challenge, but they really need to understand risk management, and they really need to understand like how to calculate the pips and how to calculate the losses, right? Because I had a good friend of mine, she was taking a challenge, but she was only like trading off of her phone. So she couldn't use the MetaTrader 4 on the computer to move the stop loss to see the exact number.
Yeah.
She risking. So, I mean, my advice would be to go for it. As long as you think you're ready for it, at least practice on a demo if you're not as confident or profitable as yet.
So as far as that, this is an app that I like to use all the time. It's called FX Calculator. You guys can actually find it over at the App Store. It's good for Apple, and it's good also for Android. It's called FX Calculator, and it looks pretty much like this. Let me go ahead. It looks like this. So it's a calculator. I'll probably pop it up. I had an ad.
Yeah.
I'll pop it up right here on like an ad, so that way people can go ahead and see it. But it's FX calculator, and it's really good because me personally, I trade from my phone. Like I do all my analysis over here on TradingView, but all my trading I do from my phone. So I know that people that do on the MT4, like you said, like I believe you did on your MT4 on your laptop, right? So it's a lot easier.
Yeah, I did on both.
Yeah, it's a lot easier because you can drag it up and down and see how much you're risking. But on MT4 on their phone, you can't do that. So this is one thing that I always recommend everybody, FX calculator. There's also one called Stinu, which I'll put the pop-ups in the video so that way people can see what they look like on the App Store. But it's pretty cool with FTMO because it also helps you be professional with trading. And by saying being professional with trading is because your risk management is a lot better. Because if you were to trade your own account, $100, $200, you'd probably be risking 5%, 10% on each trade.
Yeah,
it's something.
that's true.
Do you have any other friends of yours that are doing the FTMO challenge currently at the moment?
Yeah, I have a few friends that looking to do it, and a few people that are doing it. You know.
Yeah.
But they haven't done past as yet.
Awesome. Well, hey, at least they're getting their feet wet, right? And a lot of people need to be able to get.
Yeah.
The biggest risk in life is the risk that you don't take. So, for example, some people are holding back on taking this chance of doing FTMO because they're like, oh, I might lose, $600 if I don't pass it, $400, $300, whatever it is that is. One thing that I like to recommend everybody that gets started and is brand new and kind of scared of it is to just kind of take it slow. To go ahead and do the $10,000 FTMO because again, we go over to the FTMO section. We have the FTMO section. There's one for 10,000. There's one for 25,000, for 50,000, 100,000. And if you're getting like your feet wet and you kind of want to like see how everything works, I like to recommend people to start between the 10 and the 50,000 between those areas first to get comfortable. And then if they pass one of those, then go straight to the $100,000 one. Just so that way the investment is not a big hit at the beginning. I know you went straight on for the 100K account 4 times, which is it's pretty crazy to hear like somebody just go like straight for the 100K account. I did go straight for the 100K account as well, but I do know like some people are a little bit more scared, a little bit more skeptical. And if they are a little bit more scared or skeptical, I tell them to go to the 10 or the 50K account, one of those. But one thing I do want to do, because this one is this session that we have right now is recorded, is going to be go ahead and put on YouTube. I do want to go ahead and schedule a one-on-one with you so that way we can go ahead and do some charts, right? Right now, this video, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as is. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then hopefully we can talk a little bit about charts and kind of like, see where it is that you are at, see where it is that I can help you to go ahead and improve some spots. And then again, like if anybody else passes the FTMO challenge, I hope you guys, reach out to me so that way I can go ahead and do an interview of how it was and overall, as well do a one-on-one. Let me go ahead and stop recording this real quick. So, all right, cool.